Good morning, students. Today we'll see the topic of memory. So, in memory, in a processor or a controller of embedded systems, memory is a much needed part. In a memory, there are on-chip memory and a off-chip memory. So, on-chip memory is nothing but a built-in memory. Whatever we are seeing in our mobile phones nowadays, those are having a on-chip memory. Off-chip memory is the controller or a processor do not contain any memory inside the chip. It requires an external memory to be connected, like our hard disk, pen drives. Those are the external type of off-chip memories, we can say. So in memory, again we are having two types of memories. That is program storage memory, we call it as a read-only memory, and one more is a random access memory. In short, we call them as a ROM and RAM. Okay, so again in ROM we are having some types of ROMs. One is a MROM, that is mask ROM, PROM programmable ROM, EPROM erasable PROM, EEPROM electrically erasable PROM, flash memory, and a NVRAM. This is a non-volatile RAM. Okay, so read only memory is a non-volatile one, RAM is a volatile memory. Okay, so what is this mask memory? It is a one-time programmable memory. It makes use of a hardware technology of storing data. If a device factory is programmed by the masking process at the time of production according to the data provided by the user. So once this data is usage is over, we can erase it, but it can't be reprogrammed one there. Okay, so whatever the programs, inbuilt programs are there in our systems like laptops and mobile phones, those are masked ROMs. We can't change them. Okay, so advantage of this memory is it is a low cost memory for a high volume production. If the production is high, then its cost is less. The limitation is you can't modify any firmware. Whatever is written by the user or production time, that is the fixed one. Next comes the programmable ROM. We call them as a PROM. Okay, so best example for the programmable ROM is OTP. Whatever the OTP you will get to your mobiles when you are logging into some networks or some banking systems or some Gmail signing in, that OTP is a programmable ROM. Okay, here memory units are not programmed by the manufacturer, they are programmed by the user side. Okay, one time you can program it. This memory has wires arranged in a matrix form. These wires can be functionally viewed as a fuses. We call them as a fuses. Fuses are not blown or burn represent that logic is 1 and burnt represents as 0. So default state will be the logic 1. So this PROM is also called as a one time programmable memory, that is OTP. Okay, so next is the erasable programmable read only memory. So we call them it in short as a EPROM. So what happens here is during the development of every code may change. So OTP for each thing will not remain same. Okay, so changing the every time OTP is again not economical. So what happened, we have went for the EPROM. So it provides a flexibility and EPROM stores the bit of information by the floating gates. FET we are going to use it here. Okay, so how we are going to change the bits here? By applying the high voltage to the gates. So to erase the stored information, it contains the crystal windows which is exposed to ultraviolet rays to erase the information for 20 to 30 minutes. So what was the thing? In a MROM, only the whatever the program was there, it was written by the production side. In programmable ROM, we used to write the production one time it is. We used to write it instead of production. We used to write the program. In erasable PROM, whatever the code is already written, we'll hold that particular chip to the ultraviolet rays, so that information will get erased and again we can write the data here. So next comes again here the time was the drawback was it used to take 20 to 30 minutes to erase the information. So to overcome that one, we went for a electrically erasable programmable read only memory, that is EEPROM. Here directly we use the electrical signals. Once the signal is sent, that whatever the chip is there, that chip will go for the erase mode, and in the milliseconds it will get erased, and again you can dump the data. So next comes the flash memory. So it is a most popularly used technology. It combines of EEPROM and the high capacity of a standard ROMs. So flash memory is organized as a sectors or a blocks, we can say. Stores the memory in an array of floating gates, that is MOSFETs. Then erasing the memory in a sector level without affecting the other sector before reprogramming is possible here. So erasable capacity of a flash is 1000 cycles. So next comes the NVRAM, that is non-volatile RAM. Is a random access memory with a battery backup. It contains static RAM memory and a minute battery for providing supply to the memory. In the absence of external power supply, if the power supply is not available, then it works as a power supply. And memory and the battery are the packed together, and whatever the NVRAM and the battery, those are the in a single pack. So lifespan is 10 years lifespan will be there for the NVRAM. So next comes the random access memory. We call it as a read-write memory also. So what is this RAM is? RAM is working memory of the controller or processor. We can read it and write to it. It is a volatile memory. When the power gets off, all the content of a memory are destroyed. So this is a contrast to the other memory, ROM. And in the categories of RAM are static RAM and a dynamic RAM. So what is this static RAM is? So the static RAM is the data is stored in the form of voltages, and it is made up of a flip-flops and a fastest form of the RAM. So here the SRAM, whatever the diagram we have seen, the SRAM cell is implemented using 6 transistors or 6 MOSFETs. 4 are used for building the latch part of the memory cell and 2 for controlling the access. It is a fast in operation due to its resistive networking and a switching capability. So the next diagram what we are seeing here is a simpler form of a RAM, where we have used the coupled inverter with the read and write control through the transistor. Access to the memory cell is controlled by the word line, that is Q5 and Q6 MOSFET. So control line is connected to the bit line. To write 1, B will become 1 and B bar will become a 0. To write 0, B will become 0, B bar will become a 1. So what are the limitations of this static RAM is, it's having a low capacity and a high cost. So minimum of 6 transistors are needed to build a single memory cell. So to overcome this drawback, we have been for a dynamic RAM. So the dynamic RAM stores data in the form of charge, and it made up of a MOS transistor gates. So advantages are high density and a low cost it is, but the disadvantage is the stored memory in the form of charge may leak off with the time. So to refreshing of this memory is needed for frequently in a milliseconds. Hence the MOSFETs acts as the gates for incoming and outgoing data. Capacitors are act as a bit storage units here. So in short, we'll see what are the differences of this SRAM and DRAM. So SRAM is made up, SRAM has a lower access time, so it is faster to the DRAM. But again, the SRAM is made up of a 6 MOS transistors, that is MOSFET, but the DRAM is made up of a single MOSFET and a capacitor. And the SRAM is costlier than the DRAM, as we need a more number of the MOSFETs here. And SRAM requires constant power supply, which means this type of memory consumes more power, whereas in a DRAM we are using the capacitor, but the thing here is every time periodically the need to be refreshing is done here. Due to the complex circuitry, less storage capacity is there in the SRAM, but small internal circuitry is there, so the bit capacity is high here. And SRAM is having a low package density and DRAM is having a high package density. Other than this, compared to the designing part, the main thing is SRAM is things to be remembered is SRAM. With respect to the diagram, SRAM is having a 6 MOSFETs to have one single memory cell, but DRAM is having a only MOSFET and the capacitor. So hence the capacitor is there in the DRAM. The refreshing is need to be done so that the whatever the information is stored in the terms of charge, it should not get loose. But where SRAM is not having the refreshing, but it stores the data in the terms of voltage. Thank you.